Hello, welcome to AllCBT once again. My name is David, and in this special video, we'll be taking the JUPEB English questions for this year exam. So these are the top rated questions that you should expect in your JUPEB English exam for this year. Now, you see that I've taken the questions from 2009 to 2003. So you can see the year the question was taken out from in front of the question, and with that you can make reference in your pack series or the past question pack. All right, now if you are yet to be subscribed to this channel, you should smash the subscribe button right now, because after this the other subjects will also be uploaded to this channel, including mathematics, physics, government and the like, so that once we upload them you will get notified and you can come to watch them. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question is from 2009, and it says, choose the correctly punctuated sentence. So all of these sentences, that's all the options have been punctuated, but just one is correctly punctuated. What's punctuation? It's just the use of marks, okay, to give meaning to a particular sentence, clause, or phrase. So let's see. I said I would go, he replied. So that's what all four options says, but one of them is correctly punctuated, and that is the option B. Why so? Because I said I will go, he replied. I said I will go is a reported speech. So the third person is reporting what someone said, and when you are reporting what someone said, you put it in quotes, okay, quotes open and quotes close. So this is the correct option there for the punctuated sentence, option B. Question 2, 2009 also. Which of the following is not a figure of speech? So we have a lot of figure of speech, and one of this is not a figure of speech. It's obvious, right? So the one that is not a figure of speech here is consonant. Consonant is actually a group of alphabets. So consonant is not a, but metaphor is a figure of speech. Irony and oxymoron, these are all figure of speech except consonant. Question 3 from the year 2010. Identify the sentence in subjunctive mode. So what is subjunctive mode? A subjunctive mode is like if I were, it's like hypothetical mode, something that is not real. So which of these options is in a subjunctive, or place the person who is saying it, the person who is in the action, in a subjunctive mode? Or which of these actions is unreal? We have option A, I wish I were taller. Then we have option B, I'm taller than you. This one is a statement. She was taller before. Also a statement. He's taller than I thought. It's a statement. So the only one that is subjunctive, hypothetical situation, is the one that is unreal. A, I wish I were taller. It's just wish. Okay? And wishes cannot be, wishes, are useless for the most part. So I wish I were taller, that's a subjunctive mode, an hypothetical situation. And then you have question 4 from 2010 also. The synonym of ephemeral is what? So ephemeral will simply mean temporal, something short-lived, something that is not permanent, temporal stuff. So you can see the options. You have A, eternal, B, short-lived, C, immortal, D, permanent. And the correct option, as I've said, is short-lived, ephemeral. And then question 5 from the year 2011. Fill in the blank. Hardly dash when the bell rang. So what is going to be in this blank from these options? You have I had sat down. Had I sat down? I have sat down. Have I sat down? So this is an inversion statement. Hardly dash. When a statement starts, or a sentence starts with hardly, is an inversion statement. Now there is a rule to inversion, which simply says that hardly must follow hard. Okay, so hardly hard. Yes. So the correct option here would be option B. Hardly had I sat down, comma, when the bell rang. All right, so that's option B. Now, if you've watched up to this extent and you are enjoying the class so far, why not smash the like button? It suggests to the YouTube algorithm that the video is good enough, and then they can push it to more persons like you who will definitely be in need of it. Now let's continue. Question 6 from 2011. Which sentence is grammatically correct? In other words, just one of these 4 sentences is correct or sounds correct. The others are wrong, even though they look like it. A. Each of the boys have gone home. B. Each of the boys has gone home. C. Each of the boys are gone home. D. Each of the boys were gone home. So C and D doesn't even cut it at all. Okay, they are wrong. They look wrong. They sound wrong. Now we are left with A and B. Each of the boys have gone home. Each of the boys has gone home. Now each right here is for singular because each simply means one. Okay, so each of the boys, letting us know that there were 2 boys. So each of the boys mean singular. Okay, it's used to place the boys into singular perspective. Have gone home. Now have is in plural. Now if each is in singular and have is in plural, there's a problem because the verb is in plural. Okay, if the object is in singular, the verb has to also be in singular. So what's the singular for have? That's has. So you use has when you are talking about one person. Then if it's about 2 or more boys, you use have. So the correct sentence here should be each of the boys has gone home. Okay, that's one of the boys has gone home. Has is for singular and each is singular, so it works. Correct. So question 7 from 2012. Choose the correctly spelled word. And what's the word we are trying to spell here? Simple. Accommodation. But like I told you before, I said when you see such a question as this in any exam, WAEC, JAM, whatever it is, I said the way to ensure that you don't make mistakes, because if you look at the words too much, your eye might play a trick on you, or your brain might play a trick on you, you might get confusing. So the word that is being tried to spell here is accommodation, but they look so alike. Just a letter is missing in each of them. So how do you navigate this? I think the best way is to turn to the blank page in your answer booklet, answer sheet, or your rough paper and spell the word off memory. So definitely you can spell accommodation off memory. So when you spell it off memory, then you can now look into the options and pick the correct one. Because if you try to, look it out this way, if you try to get it correctly this way, you might actually be confused by the word. So, but for the sake of this question, accommodation has 2C and 2M. Accommodation. So accommodation has 2C and 2M. So the correct option in this question is option C. Question 8 now. What is the meaning of to cry wolf? That's an expression. To cry wolf. You have option A, to shout in the forest. No, that would be like a literal meaning, but this is not a literal. To cry wolf is not a literal expression. Okay. You have B, to raise a false alarm. To cry uncontrollably, and to complain about food. Option D. Now, what's the correct one? To raise a false alarm, because wolves are always crying. They always cry. So that is where that expression comes from. To cry wolf, to cry for nothing, just raising a false alarm. I guess danger when there is nothing. So B, to raise a false alarm, is to cry wolf. And then question 9 from 2013. Which of these best describe onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia. So onomatopoeia is a term for words that imitate the natural sound of a thing. Okay, for example, buzz. You can see that buzz. Even as I call the word, it imitates the sound, because a buzzing sound is a sound like zzz, Or another word, let's say hiss. That's hiss, which is the sounds of a snake. Okay, the sound of a snake. So it imitates, even without I telling you that a snake is. Once I say is, you can reason, or you can pick it that this is the sound of a snake. Okay, what about meow? When you spell it meow, it imitates the sound uh, of a cat, right? So the word looks like the sound. So such terms, or a term as onomatopoeia, is used to describe words that look like a sound or that imitates a sound. So which of these best describe onomatopoeia, like I've explained? You have a sound word like buzz or clang. You can hear that clang. It's just like something hitting something, right? Even if you don't know the meaning, when you say the word, you can have a guess at it because of the way it sounds. And then buzz, this is something that is making a sizzling sound. Okay, so that's option A. A sound word like buzz or clang. That's an onomatopoeia. That describes onomatopoeia. And then we go to question 10. Choose the correct order. This is from 2013. Choose the correct order. A. He quickly ran down the road. B. He ran quickly down the road. C. He ran down the road quickly. And then D. All are correct depending on emphasis. So which is correct? He quickly ran down the road. It's correct. He ran quickly down the road. It's correct. He ran down the road quickly. It's also correct. So the correct option is D. All are correct depending on the use or emphasis. So which one has the strongest emphasis? I'll give that to you as your classwork for this video. So you can answer that in the comment section. Which one of them has the most emphasis? He quickly ran down the road. He ran quickly down the road. He ran down the road quickly. You can leave that in the option, the comment section, and we can take it from there. Okay, question 11 from 2014. What figure of speech is in the silence was deafening? Now, this is quite an expression too, okay? What figure of speech is in the silence was deafening? We have A. Hyperbole, B. Paradox, C. Simile, D. Alliteration. Excuse me. And the correct option for that is hyperbole. Okay. Now, silence cannot be deafening, so it's a figure of speech. But hyperbole just simply kind of exaggerates. So hyperbole is an exaggerating figure of speech. Okay, so the silence was deafening is just trying to state that the silence in the room or in that area made it to feel like your ears were stopped, or the ears were not working, or made it feel like the person was deaf. So it's just a figure of speech, not literary. So hyperbole are not literal statements, they are only figures of speech. So the silence was deafening is an hyperbolic expression. Question 12, 2014 now. What is the antonym of benevolent? What is the antonym of benevolent? First of all, you must be able to explain or answer what an antonym is. And an antonym is like an opposite word for something, or the opposite of something. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing, benevolent. What is benevolent? Benevolent would be like a charitable person, a nice person, a giver, a lovable, likable person. So what is the opposite of a nice person, a charitable person? From these options, you have generous, which is like another word for benevolent or a synonym. You have kind-hearted, almost also another word for benevolence or a synonym for it. You have philanthropic. Philanthropic is a giver, a person who distributes, another word for it. The only one that stands out from this option is malevolent, which is like a wicked person, a strict, stingy person. So malevolence is the antonym for benevolent from these options. And then 13 rather, from 2015. Choose the sentence with correct use of comparative degree. What's comparative? You know, in placement of words, you have positive, superlative, and comparative. And comparative being the term that is used to compare between two things. All right, so which of these sentences has the smarter use of comparative? You have, she is more smarter than her sister. Wow, there's tautology there, a repetition. You have more and you have smarter. You can't have more and smarter in the same phrase or the same sentence. A short sentence, more and smarter, because they mean the same thing. So then B, she is smarter than her sister. Okay, this looks correct. It's a well-placed comparative sentence. And then you have C, she's the smarter of the two sisters. Okay, this also sounds nice, but this is rarely used. She's smarter of the two sisters is rarely used. It's not popular. People don't use it as much. Then she's most smartest among her sister. Okay, this one is also just like option A, but it's also a double use of the superlative term. Most and smartest is the same thing. So D is wrong. And then she's the smarter of the two sisters. Well, we can go with this. She's smarter than her sister. We can go with this. But for the sake of the most correct use of the comparative degree from these two options, this is the one that is mostly used. She is smarter than her sister. Well placed. Okay? It comparates between two sisters. One is the smarter one. So our correct option is B right there. Question 14. Identify the error from 2015. Between you and I, this is wrong. When you look at this, you see, wow, there's no error. It's okay. But there is an error. Between you and I, this is wrong. So where is the error? Which option has the error? I'll leave you to guess for about 2 seconds. 2, 1, say, okay. So which option has the error? Between you and I, this is wrong. And the option that has the error is B. You and I. It should be you and me. Between you and me, this is wrong, not between you and I. So option B. 15, 2016. What is the function of the underlined phrase? He went to the market to buy bread. So he went to the market to buy bread. Option A, noun phrase. B, adverbial phrase of purpose. C, adjectival phrase. D, subject complement. So the correct option, in fact, just by looking at the options, you should be able to deduce. So the correct option from here is adverbial phrase of purpose. He went to the market. Why? What's his reason for going to the market? What's the reason? To buy bread. So to buy bread is the purpose for going to the market. So option B is the correct option. 16. Which sentence uses the correct tense sequence? He said he will come. He said he would come. He says he would come. He says he will came. Now, option C and D is like the way they talk in the village. It's not correct. Okay, so it doesn't even work. It's not applicable. So I left with A and B. He said he will come, and he said we have option B. He said he would come. What's the correct option from them? Now, if you look at this, both of these options, you would know as an English student that these are reported speech. This is a third person reporting. Okay, so he said he would come. He's reporting to somebody, to the first person. Okay, so then in reported speech, you use would, not will. Would is used in reported speech. Make sure that you keep that in your mind as a rule. So we use would in reported speech. So the correct tense would be he said he would come. Okay, now I have this trick that I always share in my videos for multi-choice questions. When you see multi-choice questions as this 4 options. Some can even go as much as E and F, 5 to 6 options for you to choose from, especially very critical exams. What do you do? Especially, okay, or even in cases where you don't even know what the answer is, because you can't know everything. Okay? So, in such questions, the best thing to do is to eliminate the most incorrect ones first, leaving you with 2 of the more likely correct options. So look at those ones that doesn't even make sense and eliminate them first, like I did with C and D. I said, well, he says he would come. He says he will came. He will came doesn't even sound like it. So I take those ones out first, leaving me with the 2 likely correct options. And then I can now narrow down to pick the correct one. Is that understood? Okay, let's move on. 17 from 2017. Choose the word with the correct stress pattern. Choose the word with the correct stress pattern. What's the word? Economy. It's a 4-syllabic word. Economy. Okay, so economy. The stress is on the first syllable. E. Economy. So that's option C. Question 18. Which literary term describes a character that contrasts another character, highlighting qualities of both? You have protagonist, antagonist, foil, and you have flat character. This should primarily be in your literature in English past question, and I will be making a detailed past question video on that soon. But for the sake of this question, the correct option is foil. So foil is the literal term that contracts another term, okay, in a play, a poet, or a drama. Good. Question 19 from 2018. Choose the correct reported speech. This is the direct speech now. So we need the reported speech for this direct speech. The direct speech is, he said, I am hungry. He said, I am hungry. So what's the correct reported speech for he said, I'm hungry? You have option A. He said that he is hungry. No, because is is still there, has not been changed. He said that he was hungry. He said that he has been hungry. He said that he had hungry. So like I said, you first take out those ones that they sound wrong. They are wrong by what you've learned. So he said that he had hungry is wrong. He said that he has been hungry is wrong. He said that he was hungry, because this is a reported speech. He said, I am hungry. So by the time it's being reported, he said he was hungry, because now it's in the past. What he told you was in the present, but now you are reporting it. So it's not in real time. So it's in the past. So it becomes, he said that he was hungry. Now I hope you are enjoying this. If you have questions or you want me to do a little more in-depth study or delve into any of these options, or maybe you have a better idea to the answers to some of these questions, I want to hear from you. You can communicate with me directly in the comment section of this video. Then we also have a live class that is ongoing. And if you want to be a part of it, you can also drop it in the comment section by simply saying, add me to the live class, and we'll be happy to add you in. More so, if you want to practice these questions as we go through them, you can see the link to download our apps in the description of the video, where you can access hundreds of these questions for free and practice them in preparation for JUPEB exam. Now let's continue. Question 20. Which is a synonym of ubiquitous? Synonym simply means another word for ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. So an ubiquitous simply means everywhere. Everywhere. So that's B. 21. The projector guy has left. 21. What does greeted at it mean? What does greeted at it mean? What's gritting the teeth? Is to grind the teeth together, like when somebody is enduring pain. Do you understand now? For example, let's say someone has a wound and the nurse pours methylated spirit on the open wound. Just imagine the face of the person. The person will grit the teeth, like something like that, gnashing on the teeth or gnashing of the teeth. So it is used, gritting at teeth or gritting of the teeth is used when we are talking about pain. When somebody is enduring pain or somebody is angry, showing a lot of emotion. So that's option B. 22 now from 2019 also. Select the correct spelling. Supersede. That's supersede. It's not C, it's S. Make sure you note that. Supersede. It's S, not C. 23. Choose the correct sentence. Neither Ade nor Bola have come. Neither Ade nor Bola has come. Neither Ade or Bola has come. Neither Ade or Bola have come. Okay, we have seen a little bit of this earlier. And like I said the subject and the verb would always agree. So neither Ade nor Bola have come. Neither is in the singular. So the verb, the conjoining verb, has to be in the singular. And we are having have here. So have is used for plural terms. So option A is incorrect. Now option B, neither Ade nor Bola has come is correct because neither is in the singular and has is in the singular, making it the correct option. Good. Now next, question 24 from 2020. Which is an example of a complex sentence? What is a complex sentence, first of all? A complex sentence is a sentence that has an independent clause and a subordinate clause. Okay? An independent clause and a subordinate clause. So an independent sentence and a subordinate sentence. I won't call it sentence because it can't stand on its own. That's simply what a subordinate clause is. It cannot stand on its own. It must rely on the independent clause to function. So which of these has an independent clause in one? Option A, she cooked and cleaned. He came because I called him. He came, he saw, he conquered. Now this one can all stand on their own. He came can stand on his own. He saw can stand. He conquered can stand on its own. So it's wrong. Get out can stand on its own. In fact, it's just an independent clause that is there. So it's out also. You take C out, you take D out. We are left with A and B. Let's see B. He came because I called him. So he came is an independent. Because I called him is dependent on he came. Because I called him cannot stand as a sentence on its own. It's useless. It makes no sense, right? So he came because I called him. Right. So option B, the correct option. 25. The antonym of meticulous is what? What does meticulous mean? Meticulous means it simply means detailed, thorough. Okay. So somebody who is not detailed or thorough is what? Careless, carefree, careless. That's the antonym, like the opposite. So option A. And then you have 26. Choose the correct word. The teacher insisted that she dash present. The teacher insisted that she be present. She be present. That's the correct word for the sentence. 27. Which figure of speech is in the classroom was a zoo? Which figure of speech is? The classroom was a zoo. That's what metaphor. It's a metaphoric statement. Okay, it's describing two unlikely things without using has or like. If we use has or like, it becomes what? Simile. Okay, as bold as a lion. A boy ran as a cheetah. That's simile. You bring two unlikely things, a human being and an animal, and compare them together. So that's simile. But when we don't use has or like, it becomes metaphor. So in this case, there is no has here, there's no like here, so it's metaphoric. 28 from 2022. Which of these is not a synonym of happy? Which of these is not another word for happy? We have joyful, it goes with happy. Elated goes with happy. Miserable, miserable is like the opposite of happy. It shows a state of sadness and sorrow. So that's C. 29. Which sentence contains an adverbial clause of reason? Okay, like we've seen before, we saw an adverbial clause of purpose. So this one, an adverbial clause of reason. Let's see which of these gives a reason to an action. I ran because I was late. I ran quickly. I ran to the store. I ran and shouted. None of these have a reason except option A. Why are you running? Let's say the principal stops the young boy that is running through the corridor of the classroom. Say, why are you running? Sir, I'm running because I'm late. So that's an adverbial clause of reason. That's it. 30. Choose the correct order of adjective. The correct order of adjectives. You have A, a red big car. B, a big red car. C, a car red big. D, a car big red. Interesting. So you must know the rule. And the rule is you must have size, then color, then noun. That's the rule. Placement in a sentence. So which one is the size? Big. So size must come first, then color, noun. Now is the name of a thing. So now is a naming word. That's car. So a big red car. Don't forget it. Okay? Size, color, and then the noun. 31 from 2009. Which sound is a diphthong? What's a diphthong? Diphthong are like two vowel sounds. Two vowel sounds. So which of these sounds has two vowels? That's option B. E. E. Okay, this is short E. Then this is right. This is short E. Then this is long E. So you have P. A. So that's option B. Two vowel sound. Then 32 from 2010. The plural of passerby is what? The plural of passerby. You have passers-by, passerbys, passers-bys. Well, the plural of passerby is passerby. So passerby has no plural. I mean, when we're talking about the use of s, es, or either normal or abnormal plural, it doesn't have. So passerby is passerby in the singular and plural. 33 from 2011. Identify the grammatical error. The news are good today. So news is an uncountable noun. Can you count news? No. So whatever you cannot count is always in the singular. So news is, the news is good today. Okay. So that's I is the error there. News cannot be in plural form. Okay, then you have 34 from 2012. The stress pattern for economics or economics, no, this one is actually economics. Now there is something very interesting, and we've seen the singular of this previously. Economy or economy. Economy. It's in four-syllabic. It's a four-syllabic word. But for this one, economics, that's the study in itself. Economics. It's a three-syllabic word. You can see it. Economics. Economics. Okay, and the stress pattern on economics is always in the middle. That's co. But for economy, which is a four-syllabic word, like we saw before, we saw earlier. So the stress pattern is usually on the first syllable, which is the E. Good. 35. Which type of essay is a story about a real or imaginary event? In which of these story do you tell? In which of these essay do you tell a story about either a real or imaginary event? You have narrative essay, argumentative essay, expository essay, descriptive essay, and that's what narrative essay. In narrative essay, you tell a story, you narrate. It could be real, it could be fiction, whatever you like it to be. So that's that. 36. The opposite of opaque. Opaque is what? You have transparent, translucent, clear, and bright. So the opposite of opaque is what? Transparent. So transparent, you can see through. Opaque, you cannot see through. So now I will need you to also tell me in the comment section, what's translucent? Okay, what's translucent? Make sure you tell me in the comment section. Okay, and then let's see 37. What does the idiom burn the midnight oil mean? To burn the midnight oil. Some other persons may say burn the midnight candle. What does it mean? A, work at night. B, waste fuel. C, destroy property. D, sleep late. So burn the midnight oil simply means to work at night, work into the night, stay up late in the night to work. So that is A, work at night. Then 38. Which sentence is in passive voice? So one of these sentences is in passive voice, the other one is in the active voice. A, the teacher punished the students. That is active. B, the students were punished by the teacher. Now know that in passive voices you would often see the were and by, or just were, but most times you see were and by in passive voices or passive sentence. So the students were punished by the teacher. Okay, and then you have the students punished the teacher was punishing. Funny. So the students were punished by the teacher. It's a passive voice. It's almost also like a reported voice, right? Good. And then 39. Which of these is an example of alliteration? What is the alliteration? A string of words that sounds alike. Okay, like tongue twister. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That's alliteration. A string of words that has the same vowel sounds, sometimes consonant sounds too, in them. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Then you have the classroom was a zoo, as brave as a lion. Now look at that, as brave as a lion. This is a what? Simile. Okay. Silence was deafening. Classroom was a zoo. We've also seen this before. Then Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. This is the alliteration. And then the last question for this class: which of these best defines irony? Irony. So what is irony simply? What's the definition of irony from these options? A, saying the opposite of what is meant. B, comparing two unlike things. C, an extreme exaggeration. D, a mild understatement. An extreme exaggeration is hyperbole. So saying the opposite of what is meant is an irony. So with that, we have it for this particular class. Like I said, if you want to practice all of these questions, all 40 of them, you can use the link to the apps on Play Store and Android Store. Download them. It's in the description of this video and watch. You can also find other videos that covers your entire JUPEB exam in the channel. So go on right now to watch and make sure that you like those videos if you enjoy them, share them to your friends. Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 types of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Kakao, NEET, IELT, and the likes like that. Also, in every video you watch, we have the link to our apps where you can download on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store and practice hundreds of past questions for free.